All right, early morning. I am back. I am ready. It's a little later than usually is. It's like 7:20 now or something. So I saw this thing. Emma Goldman, famous revolutionary, said, "If I can't dance, I don't want to be part of your revolution." I've seen other variations. As someone once said, if I can't dance to it, it's not my revolution. So I just thought, let's try this out. Quotes are interesting. Sometimes quotes are easy to attribute. Sometimes they're hard, and we'll see what this one looks like. So let's try this first version here. Immediately, I see, like, if I was doing a search on this, like the way I would scan the search page is I would notice at least this Goldman never said these, right? You know, and that's Wikipedia. That seems a stronger source. Um, Never actually appears. Like I would be noticing as I scan this page that there's a lot of signs here that she did not say this, but that it also seems to be a very she never said, right. But I also note that it doesn't say who or where this came from, at least as I can see, maybe scanning it. I don't see where it came from. It does, or what she said that was like it, at least from the search results. And that might be a place where AI mode does a little better. So let's see if we can get not only the indicators that she maybe never said that, scanning that page, but let's see if we can get. All right. So we have here that is a paraphrase of a more extensive passage. At a dance in New York, she was dancing. She's scolded for dancing with reckless abandon and said it was undignified. And Goldman said this longer quote that a cause which stood for a beautiful ideal, some elided content there, for release and freedom should demand the denial of life and joy. She didn't believe, right? And this is actually responding that a cause that stood for a beautiful ideal, she must have said it shouldn't. This is just a bad summary, a bad elision. So we're going to want to find that full one there. And then she insisted, and I know that's a bad elision. People always watch these things and they think it's the most amazing gotcha. They're like, you use some of your knowledge to figure this out. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, dude, sure I did. Like, like you use your knowledge to figure things out, right? And what I've used in my knowledge here is that this doesn't make any sense to say that this quote doesn't make any sense in its current formulation. So yeah, I used some of my knowledge. You got me. So anyway, release and freedom from convention should demand. So I imagine that actually says something a little different. That she's actually saying something against that. She insisted for the moment that the movement should not expect her to become a nun or turn into a cloister. And if we want to track that down, we can. It looks like we've got a Wikipedia article here, and it looks like it's got that quote in it. So let's go to the Wikipedia article. And here we have the full quote in the Wikipedia article. I did not believe that a cause. See, I did not believe, right? I did not believe that a cause. And what did this say here, up here? Responding that it just elided that in a very dumb way. I did not believe that a cause which stood for a beautiful ideal, for anarchism, for release and freedom and conventions and prejudice should demand denial of life and joy. I insisted that our cause could not expect me to behave as a nun, and that the movement should not be turned into a cloister. Right? There you go. That's the quote. That's where the quote comes from. Now, how did I know? Like, what sort of weird knowledge did I know that I had to trace that quote here? Well, I wanted to know what the quote was, so I traced it. Right? That's the weird knowledge I had. Like, I actually wanted to see the quote in context. So what did I do? Right? What are our moves? Right? Get it in, track it down, follow up. So I decided to track it down. I tracked it down using the techniques and the tools that were there for me. You always want to track down a quote to source. I might even track down this one here one step further beyond Wikipedia, and try to get to that actual book And depending on what my needs were, right? If I'm just going to retweet a repost or do a TikTok video, I don't necessarily have to go to the library and check out the book or whatever. But if I was going to do it in a paper, I would get to the book. Go and get the book and say that this is what was said. What else was in that? What else was in that thing there? So, what's the origin of the misquote? So this is good. This is good. This says it was created by anarchist printer Jack Frager for a T-shirt in 1973. That kind of makes sense because if you look at this here, that's kind of hard to fit on a T-shirt. I think, right? Like that's not a T-shirt quote. So it kind of makes sense that it was compressed for a T-shirt. And if we want to figure out how we know that, I like this thing here. Invention of a feminist soundbite sounds good. And you notice in some cases, but not all, AI mode will bring us like with this purple highlight. Is this purple? Is it violet? Is violet this color? I don't know. I'm not colorblind. I just don't know the names of colors. I think this might be violet, or like I don't know. Like there are a million color names. I know so few of them. But it says what? Several days later, I picked up my shirts with my precious. I was surprised to find a succinct abridgment of Emma's dance story spread boldly on the shirt. Who is this written by? I searched Emma's text for the statement, but Jack was so pleased and the festival was so soon. Emma looked so lively. So this must be the Jack Frager guy. And it seems like someone that knew Jack Frager, this person here, who has written 2 books on Emma Goldman, had the heart to register an objection in the name of scholarship. So it seems like a friend of someone who either then or later became a Goldman scholar, or a writer at least on Goldman, said something to a guy that made T-shirts. I may like to confess and set the record straight. Here's what happened. Sometime in early 1973, I received a phone call from Jack Frager. He had the idea to raise funds by printing up a batch of Emma Goldman T-shirts to hawk in Central Park. He heard me lecture on a scholar on Emma's feminism. He wondered if I might lend him a glossy photo from which to print and suggest a phrase or slogan. And so she gave him a glossy print of Emma Goldman and referred him to several prose passages, particularly this dancing episode in the memoir, which to her seemed to embody the most lively feminist spirit. And then she sees the T-shirts when they come back, and it's not, it's not this, right? It's this, right? All right. So we learned a bunch here. I don't know. I feel like these stories about how quotes evolve are really, really interesting. Yeah, so that's what we learned. I'm sorry I get a little snarky about like, oh, you use some knowledge to figure out how to go further. Yeah, I mean, you gotta have to make judgment calls, right? Like, I come back to this thing again and again and again, but like, stop thinking of this as an answering machine. That's not what I'm saying. You're arguing with someone else out there who's saying that this is the Star Trek computer. I'm not saying that. I am saying that actually this process is a lot like search. It's different in some ways than search, but it's a lot like search. And you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So you're going to have to learn like how to navigate it. You're going to have to learn how to look for the signs that maybe you're going to go deeper. If you're really serious about something, you just go deeper. Just go deeper. Always track down a quote before you share it. Just like that's what you do.